What's up, everybody, and welcome back to CUNYAC Winter Feature. With winter sports canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we here at CUNYAC are spotlighting student athletes once a week during the winter semester, highlighting their accomplishments, talking about their experience at the collegiate level, and what they've been up to over the past year in 2020. I'm your host, Eldridge Chavez. You can catch the CUNYAC Winter Feature every Friday here on our website, cunyathletics.com, and on our YouTube channel, CUNY Athletics Conference, as well as on our social media feeds by searching CUNY Athletics. If you missed any of our fall features, please go give it a watch. You can find the past videos on our site, cunyathletics.com. Finally, a big thank you to our sponsor for the winter feature, HSS Hospital for Special Surgery, the official hospital for the CUNY Athletics. Now, sitting with me today is a senior from CCNY. She is the recipient of the CUNYAC Scholar Athlete Honor Roll for 2020, the Beavers' most outstanding player for women's outdoor track and field, a two-time CUNYAC Performer of the Year, a three-time CUNYAC All-Star. She is majoring in environmental engineering and earth system sciences. From City College, please welcome the Beaver, Lucy Piacentini. Lucy, welcome.
Thanks.
Sorry, did I butcher the last name?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
All right, I tried. I put the spelling there, making sure I had it right. But Lucy, how are you? Thank you for joining me today.
I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
No, thank you. So I just, first off, congratulations to ending your semester. I mean, we spoke briefly just a little while ago. Congrats. Enjoy the rest of the time off, and good luck with your final semester as a Beaver. So I guess with that, I guess the first question I should just ask you, just straight off the back, is why did you decide to study at CCNY?
I decided to study at CCNY for their engineering program. I'm originally from Long Island, but I wanted a taste of the city life a little bit. what was happening in the city. It's a little busier than Long Island. I love Long Island though. But yeah, I wanted to see what that was like, and reluctantly I was able to do track as well and like continue my high school track days and bring that into college. So I'm really happy that I did get to experience both.
Okay, great. And did New York live up to your expectation?
I think so. I did so much in the past years that I've been at City College. So like I got to experience like Smorgasburg and like the vessel that just came out, and now they have the Edge. Everyone should go check that out. It's not sponsored, but
that's all right. No worries.
I just did that like the other day, so that was like really cool too. So yeah.
Awesome. No, that's great. I'll look into it, especially now when things are hopefully on the other side soon, and be able to enjoy outdoor activities again and stuff like that. Okay, so engineering, obviously, I think that's what CCNY is known for. Environmental engineering and earth system sciences, that's a long title. What exactly do you want to do with that degree?
Yeah, so it is a very long title. But it's a very versatile like field. It's a branch of civil engineering. So my interest throughout the years of studying this topic has been primarily on water and climate change. Okay. So I'm not really sure where I'm going to end up in this field just because there's so many things that I can choose. But I hope that I go wherever the wind takes me. All the internships that I've done really like don't follow like the water aspect of my major. Yeah. So just because of that, I just been taking any opportunity given to.
Okay, so you mentioned your internships that has nothing to do with water, but nonetheless there's still something that caught my eye. Searching you up, you entered at NASA. As a research assistant, and then again as an environmental engineer. First of all, that sounds awesome. That's great. I can't believe that you got the opportunity to do that. Talk to me about that experience. Like, what was it like, and what was your role during those internships?
Yeah, so the NASA experience was out of this world.
Boom, boom, boom.
Exactly. It was amazing. I think I got two different sides of NASA because I did it for the past 2 summers. So the one summer I was in Maryland at the Goddard Space flight center. And then
Okay.
this past summer, it was COVID, so we were all online. So that was definitely different. But when I was in Maryland, it was amazing. Like I worked on oil storage on their campus. Their campus is very, very large. So I went around the whole entire campus. I got to meet so many people. And I also, on aside from like everything that I did there, I interviewed everyone like in my
Really?
office. Yeah, and I interviewed some scientists just to get like their feedback because I was like, this is the only time I'm ever gonna be there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
So like I just kind of wanted to know. So I learned stuff about like oceanography, and I learned more about the environmental engineering and like what people do, like what their job is. I met with mechanical engineers, so it was like super cool to understand like where my career could potentially go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really fun. And then this past summer when it was remote, we did a bunch of remote sensing, which is working with the satellite data that was coming down. So that was a whole different aspect from my previous one. But yeah, but when I was there, I like met so many people, and I thought I'll never be like, it was just a great environment to be in. And I actually, my roommate that I made when I was in Maryland 2 summers ago, she was a big climber. So I got into rock climbing. I did
Wow, that's
dabbled,
awesome.
yeah, I dabbled a little bit, and we climbed outside and everything. Like we made some like other intern friends that we like every weekend we used to go climbing outside, which was crazy.
That's great. No, that's awesome. Do you still keep in contact with them?
I do, yeah. They're all actually worked during COVID on other NASA funded projects and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's a cool network to have.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like I really find this interesting. Can you share like a specific job you did, or like maybe even a story that you heard from someone you interviewed that's like, yeah, it's just it's interesting to hear. So anything that stands out to you, I mean, you don't have to mention names or anything like that, but just something that you heard like, oh, that's really cool, or something that you did that was that's really fascinating to do.
Yeah, sure. They actually had a lot of colloquiums, which is
Okay.
just like a seminar.
Yeah.
And Disney, the man who made the Disney soaring, I don't know if you have ever been to Disney World.
I have 2017 was my first time. Awesome
Oh,
experience.
did you go to Epcot?
I did go to Epcot for the wrong reasons. I'll tell you that much. You know, they were saying to go do around the world, and I didn't know what that meant until I got there. And after the third spot, I don't remember much.
That's right. They have this ride called Soaring, and it's in I think like a couple Disney locations around the world, and it was the man that came up with the concept of having. So basically, what happens is like you start off, all the people, like the passengers, start off like flat, and it's just like you're soaring, but then it mechanically moves like upwards. So then there's like 3 layers. This is very difficult to explain, but there's like three
I'm following.
layers
Yeah.
of passengers. So there's people above you and people below you. And he talked about how he came up with that concept where he used his children's toys.
Wow.
Yeah, he used his childhood toys and to explain the idea because it's very hard to explain, but to explain it to the people that were interested in the project. And from there, when he showed them using childhood toys, they were like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, that's how we're going to do it. So yeah, I think it's just interesting. I just learned like stuff like that where it's like you can use anything to show what you mean, and like
Yeah.
that's a big thing in engineering, that like we can talk any scientific term and no one's going to understand what we're saying, but you have to be able to visualize it for someone else. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, and I'm meaning to go back again to Disney World, so I won't be as intoxicated when I make it to Epcot and HSS. I'm sorry, this is the first sponsor, and I might be butchering it. But that's great. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear these stories. Let's transition a little bit here. into both your academic standings and your running. I mentioned in when I was presenting you, you're a scholar athlete, honor roll. I think the GPA requirement is 3.2, maybe. I'm not 100%,
I'm not
but
100% up in there, but
but regardless of the fact, you have a high academic standing. You're an accomplished runner pre-COVID, right before 2020 was thrown on us. Was it difficult to balance athletics and academics?
yes, for me it was. I know like other people you might talk to, like it might not be, but I think it's like the time management, especially coming into school, coming from like high school, and then now you have your own schedule in college, and you have different times to meet for practice and everything. I think like the time management for me was pretty difficult in the beginning. I think my priority is always academics first.
Mm-hmm.
You're a student athlete. Student comes first
Student come first,
after
yeah.
athlete. So that's something that I definitely like took to heart. So it was sometimes, I would be like, oh, should I go to practice or should I like study or like which one? Because I do like quite a few events. So I have like 3 practices a day that I could potentially go to. So it's like trying to manage like whether or not I can go to if I go to that practice, like, do I go to javelin practice or should I finish my project?
Yeah.
And usually it's that communication that you need with your professors and your coaches. And I think I had that, which helped me out definitely throughout the years. Just making sure that I indicated to like my coaches that, hey, like I have this project. I'm going to try and do this on my own time. I might not come to practice at that time. So I think
Okay.
that was really important.
No, that's great. And I mean, I think you said it best. And student athlete, student is the first word you hear. And from everyone I spoke to, obviously different stories, different paths, but they're all similar. And I think that's the biggest. I wouldn't really necessarily call it an adjustment, but I guess the biggest challenge is balancing the academic part and being an athlete. But what everyone has in common is exactly what you said, is having that relationship with the professors and the head coach. And honestly, I mean, I think head coaches are super understanding when it comes to the student's academic part of the student athlete. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you had that support. I guess we could segue into the next question with that. Honestly, college could be challenging for some, and for some not really. During your academic career, have you had anyone to kind of like really rely on and support you during these difficult times?
I definitely did. I think again, I feel like the transition from my freshman year to where I am now is like so big, just because my freshman year there's a lot of more priorities, just because like athletics is new, and I always think back to it. It's just like I just wanted to be at every practice and I wanted to be there all the
Yeah.
time because I didn't want to miss out. I didn't want to like not meet any of my fellow athletes. So I think that was a big thing for me. And I think my for priorities lacked freshman year, where it was just like, oh, I want to be a part of this team. But I don't think I understood that I could be a part of the team while being in
Studious.
academics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my teammates actually, most of them that I talked with were engineers. So I think once I found out that how supportive my teammates were, like they helped me study during practices, they helped me study during meets. Like I think once that transition of understanding that like we're not just athletes and we are students and everyone's willing to help, I think that like they were a big supporter of me, because if I was struggling in a math class, we had a mathematics major on our team, so
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So it did definitely help me in those classes when I was struggling and I was new to athletics, where you're at a meet for 8 hours and you can't, you almost that whole day is gone, right? But if you can find time between events or something like that, and my teammates were definitely I relied on them heavily. And of course, my family and friends always supported me through whatever I did, in college. So, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'm glad you brought up your teammates because I think we could focus shift the focus on that. CCNY has such a winning tradition, especially when it comes to running multiple CUNYAC titles for cross country, multiple. I don't even know how many in a row already, both for cross country and indoor track and field. So it's just a winning prestige there. What takeaways will you bring with you after your time is done as a Beaver?
I think so. The one thing that Coach Murray always would tell us, especially during cross country meets, was pain is temporary. So I think I really took that to heart because I'm not necessarily a long distance runner. So when I was out there on the course, I would repeat to myself multiple times, pain is temporary. And it's just like, I think that will definitely be correlated to anything I do in life. I really have taken that already with me through even working at internships and stuff. Like, no matter how hard it is, like, it's only temporary. Like, it's not gonna last for too long. But so that's something I definitely think I would take away. Also, the leadership aspect, I was lucky enough to play a large leadership role, and I think I learned how to talk with people, manage people's schedules as well, and just find helpful ways to help everyone else, because I know that I struggled definitely in my collegiate career, so I tried to bring that down to all of the other teammates, and I wanted to make sure that is something that anyone could talk to me about, and I could definitely help with scheduling classes, or just time management is just a huge thing. So I think some of those things are definitely something that I'd like to take in. And for those CUNY championships that we did win, I think that strong mentality going into those meets, that's something I'll also take, just because we never walk into a meet and we're like, hey, we're gonna win. That's never it. Luckily we have such a strong team where we know that we have to put in work for it, and that's why we see so many people at practice, and it's that consistency. So it's just it's nice to have just a great team overall. It's really helped me through college, really.
No, that's great, and I'm surprised you said that about the how you carried yourself as a team, winning these multiple championships, because you would think that, other schools are out there like, all right, CCNY, we're going to hunt you down. Like, you're the hunted now. Everyone wants to take that top spot and overthrow you. And the fact that you guys are just not, I guess, bragging the fact that you're good. You're just a cohesive unit who work together. So that's awesome. I'm glad to get that insight, because I know if I was in another school and I'm like, yo, I'm gunning for you guys, I'm throw an elbow here and there or something. I don't know. But that's great. I'm glad you have a lot of good takeaways, and hopefully whatever your future endeavors, you'll be able to bring that with you. So let's transition a little bit here into a little more serious note. We have to dive in too deep. Obviously, 2020, a year like we haven't seen, at least in our lifetime. How has this year been like for you? And is there anything that you might have learned about yourself during this, pandemic that we've been in?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been hard on everyone. Everyone's lives really changed within a month.
Yeah.
I personally found a lot more time in my day, just because athletics was no longer running at that time. So I definitely used that time wisely, I think. I found different activities, and I think that was the thing that kind of kept me going. Was the only you gotta take everything with a grain of salt and work with what you got. So what we had were parks. So a lot of the times what I would do is I made it my goal to go to almost every park in Long Island that I could get myself to. It was the only thing you can really do for social distancing. So I did do quite a few hikes around Long Island. So I think through that, I think I just learned, yeah, like kind of just use what you have and just try and make the best out of every situation. I did hikes. I did bike riding, which I never really did. I started running again, long distance, a little bit longer.
Pain is only temporary.
Pain is only temporary, yes. And yeah, I had a lot more time for school, so I think like that was a big thing that I really never experienced in my years doing athletics and school. So now I really focused on school, which was really interesting, and I got to meet other engineering students that I never really got the chance to meet with outside of the classroom. So yeah, that was nice.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I do have one more question for you. Very simple. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not quite sure. I hope to be established in a career, and, you know, traveling with my life. I really like to travel. It's a lot of things that I like to do. So hopefully I'll be able to do that with my time. I'd still like to be in the track world, no matter
Okay.
how big or small. Just in some way, I'd like to like give back to the sport that helped me through college and really like brought me to who I am. And I think I love track, so I can't imagine that not being a part of my life. So yeah.
Okay, great. Well, again, thank you, Lucy, for joining me today. Good luck with all your future endeavors. Again, congratulations on finishing the semester. Hopefully, you know, who knows what's going to happen in the next few months, but maybe we'll be back into a normal world. But if I don't get to see you then or speak to you then, congratulations on graduating. I know next semester is the last semester, so congratulations to that. And hopefully you'll be able to celebrate with friends and loved ones. Any closing remarks? Anything you want to close out this conversation with?
No, well, like thank you so much for having me, and I hope you will as well.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
I don't know when this is getting uploaded, but happy holidays.
It'll probably be uploaded after. Oh, no, I think probably before Christmas. So hopefully by then it'll be there. But yeah, 100% right. You reminded me. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Happy holidays. Again, thank you for continuing to support our features. I've had such a blast getting to know these student athletes from our conference on a more personal level. Just a quick reminder, again, the winter features goes up every Friday on our website, cunyathletics.com, and as well in our social media feeds by searching CUNY Athletics. For Lucy Piacentini, hopefully I got that right. I'm Eldridge Chavez, and until next time, cheers.